Derivatives trading involves a standard risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Well, I hope you had a good weekend. I spent a lot of time playing Pokemon. And we're coming in here now, and treasuries are a good, I want to say, a third of a point lower today. And when we look at it from, let's look at the 30-minute chart. You know, just a steady decline all of yesterday, and then again today. Here again was on Friday. We found out that once again we're not getting wage inflation, and we went higher, and there was some sort of iceberg up here at the top, and they decided that was all they were going to do. Now we're lower in here in the E-mini. Of course, they had a big rally on Friday, which was really something else, especially when you look at this. So let's push that over there. There you go. Actually, we'd do it like that. I'm going to call that a convincing breakout. Still got some. Well, actually, we're a little bit higher, so you could maybe actually buy that. Well, that's interesting. Well, I am personally not sure why the equities markets seem to be shrugging everything off right now. This seems to be a time when they would be freaking out, but it is what it is. Anyways, we get some inflation data later this week, so we're going to be really careful here. Really careful here. This whole 05 to 06 area is not a spot I want to mess with. I think, you know what, before I yap too much, let's get the stream links, shall we? Copy that. Here's your YouTube. And there's your Twitch. Okay. So yeah, so my play is, my thinking right now at least is, it's a Monday, so we're likely to have somewhat range-bound trading. I got to be careful about where I'm entering at. You know, if I wanted to sell and see new lows, I think I would have to take it at 6 and 6.5. They are building a little bit of volume in here, so maybe they go higher. I don't know. But because it's Monday and we got some CPI data coming out later in the week, I don't really see a whole lot of driver to be pushing us a lot here. So I'm gonna, you know, avoid doing too much here at the moment. The one thing I am noticing that's a little unusual is that we've got 12K on both sides of the market in ZB right now, which I find odd. And then let's check out Bitcoin. It's still being freaking weird. The Bitcoin I don't know if it's just the chart or what, but this new contract just is not working correctly at all. Very suspicious. Yeah, they didn't really move a whole lot over the weekend. The last big buy was still on Friday. Oh, it was a big buy at the end of the week. That's interesting. Oh. But then a little bit lower since then. But I think that's all probably within the plan and not too exciting, to be honest. Against packing the courts. I've read some people, I know this is like super crazy, but on the political side, some people saying that Donald Trump should try and preemptively pack the courts. Because they know that as soon as a liberal gets in there, they're not going to have the Supreme Court, and so they're going to try and pack the courts to get it back. Which is just crazy, I think. There needs to be some constitutionally defined limit on the number of judges and how you can change it, because you just shouldn't be able to do that quite like that. But we'll see what happens. Oh, I don't see, they've got 4 kids out. They haven't gotten any more than that. This Thai rescue thing. Well, let's check Reddit. I see Yodi getting long 055 there, huh? I will say, at the moment, when I first saw that we had come down, my first gut instinct was to do exactly what he's doing right there. That, like, there's no reason that Treasuries should be coming down quite like this, and that as soon as the market opens up, that they might push us back up. And they might push us back up to like 0.5. But, I mean, there's not a lot of order flow. You can see here, look, the cumulative delta is up and down. We're in a volume profile here. This doesn't look to me like action that I should be getting involved in. Really low overnight volume. I mean, seems like the perfect trap for Seth. I think so. Okay, so there's a single print in ZB at 145.06 where they stopped. It's a good thing to point out. So let's see, where are we at in ZN? ZN is also testing some, what would be the single print from, well, they went a little bit past it, I guess. 120.045 is there in the, what would be single prints, I suppose, depending on where you look at it, would start at around 160. I don't know. I do see some arguments to the downside, but clearly I have a bias in there that we should be moving up. I feel like inflation's not coming in as quickly as thought. We should be moving up. I suppose you could make the argument that we had been moving up on risk factors for a while, and that maybe those risk factors aren't such a big deal. And so if you take those out and then you put in that we're not getting the inflation, we're technically still overvalued, maybe that's an argument that they're making? I don't know. I would like to, well, and if I was going to go long or scalp, I mean, going long at 0.55, that would be like the highest I would be able to go. It would be better to get 0.50. Because what are the chances that they're going to turn around and tick down here? A pretty good chance that they'll do that. Okay. John Bottomley also notes that because it's an auction week, there's a good chance that we trade into the auction. Okay, so now there's a small bid there, and they hit it, and there was at least 1,000 hiding behind it. And we're right there at that 12. At 12, where there was 1,200. Now that we've come up, there's 1,000. I see that pull, we could maybe hit into it. Okay, so they sold it down in ZB once. ZF looks like it wants to go. ZN, they're trying, I think. ZB not quite holding it, so now it's fallen down 2 times. Fallen down and come back up twice. And a little bit of delta selling. I guess it's only 1,500 isn't a huge deal, so we can't read too much into that cumulative delta, can we? I can only see that the cumulative delta has been going lower all day. The knob spread is, well, the mob spread might be headed higher, actually. It's interesting. Let's show you guys this again. It's not quite as low as the bottom of its range in the knob spread, but it could turn around here. Oh, you know what? We need to change this this spread right here. This one needs to be September. There you go. Let's retake that picture. Okay, so they hit into 06 half. They are absorbing a decent amount at 11 in the bond. You know what? I'll be right back. Forgot to take some of my vitamins. I'm missing the camera today. I didn't even realize that. There we go. Right, well, I'm still waiting for them to pull this order at 12. I don't know if they're going to do it. See, this is pumping up. They want to go through it. So now showing up here at 07. I think there are some circumstances where I would be getting really excited and clicking into this, but because it's a Monday, and I expect things to be a little bit rangy, I think they might stop here. Now, the thing I think I gotta be careful about is I think it's going to be rangy, but what they could end up doing instead is turning into one of these bubble up moves. You know, they could bubble up all the way to, say, 18 in the bond, which would be hard trading for order flow, wouldn't it? See, we've already been here for several minutes. Almost 20 minutes in, and barely. I mean, what? We had 2 upticks. Okay, well, the 10-year did tick down, and they put a decent amount of size at 060 as well. Okay. They're hitting into 11, but it's absorbing in the 30-year. We might get a fade here. Only 4 hit into 060, huh? Okay, they step back up. So I'm thinking because there was a lot absorbed there at 11, if they can get down to 9, I think they would have to get down to 9 first, but because there's this iceberg here and everything, if they can get another tick down, I think that you're gonna have somebody stuck and we could get a couple ticks down. Maybe even a test of the lows, to be honest. But it's only come back 1 tick, and in a bubble up move, that's exactly what that would look like. It would come down a tick, they'd come up, this would still be tough, and they would eventually, after sitting there for a while, just push up through it with no warning or way to know that it was actually going to do it. So there's the down tick again. Okay, they've saved 7 guys. They freed 3 more, so that's 7 boys have been saved from the cave. Yeah, a Waddle pointing out that it's a really slow open, and it's probably nothing interesting is going to happen until equity's open. Okay, the announcement of the Supreme Court Justice will happen at 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Time. Yep. Trump complaining about trade barriers. I didn't know that there was a ZZ emoji. Oh, that's funny. So that time, somebody sold 600, and then Iceberg sold another 400, but they still ticked up. So, like, the thing that we would need to see happen to get some sort of an imbalance or move is not happening. Thanos did nothing wrong, still has not banned half the subreddit. Oh man. Okay, there. Well, I wasn't paying attention. They did get the tick down. So they get buried. Now we'll see if they pressure the other side. Well, now the level 2 is roughly equal there in the 10-year. I think in this kind of action, your one tick trade right there is probably not a good idea. I'll tell you why. One, we don't have a strong trend, so it's difficult for you to know which side is safer to get on. I think that the largest interest area is there at 055, so probably your best bet is to sell 0.6 and get out at 0.55. Since there's not a lot of really strong trend, you don't really know, and then it's just so rangy and stuff that there's a good chance that you sell 0.60, you're not going to get filled. Or vice versa, if you buy 0.55, you're not going to get filled. Or you sell 0.60 and then you try and buy it 0.55 and they never do it. So it's probably better just to not mess with it. I think we're going to need to see something really significant to get us to take a trade around here, so... That, if you sold those 6.5, it was good for a tick. Actually, I think it was good for 2 ticks, wasn't it? That's where I would get out. I would have, if I had actually gotten that, I would have gotten out at 0.55. Wouldn't be willing to risk more than that on it. I think, given how slow it is. I'm still seeing reports that make it seem like Donald Trump is still trying to decide on his Supreme Court nominee. I don't know. If ZB gets another tick up, which could happen, it's going to be interesting to see if that big offer stays. When you look at it in the 10-year, it moved down. It moved down in the 10-year, it did not move down in the 30. It does seem like there are some people making a bet on it going lower. These big orders down here. They've been there for a long time. Okay. Eight boys freed now. 5 remain trapped. Oh, Draghi is talking? Underlying fundamentals remain solid. Starting to feel really sleepy now, guys. Top of the hour, though. I guess this is when I tend to feel that way, doesn't it? Okay. Yoda got out -1 tick. Well, the 5-year is delta continues to go down, and they might get it. Now, you know what? I didn't put my yeah, let's do this. I don't think, even if we move down, I don't feel like that should, so like there's a big order here at 040, right? So I think that you might get a situation where it does break. Um, I mean, well, let me pull that out here. I'm not going to take a trade. So you got this. Sorry, let's make it bigger. So you got this big one right here, and then you got all of this. Okay. And you can see them over here too. Not showing up in the 30-year, but they are showing up in these two, right? So if we get to move down, there's a possibility that we break that, and then it rushes down to that. But there's also a possibility that it could come up to that, and then go down. Or I guess they could come up and they could just go straight through. But I mean, those are all like the possible combinations and which one's most likely. I think that this one, where they break it and then push back up, I think is the most likely. Now, when you got that down tick, this one showed up at the 120, but that one would probably already be there anyways because it's at evens. So I'm wondering now if they're going to bounce this buy-side liquidity on the 04 half, and 040 is going to hold us up here now. And then we go to the other side of this. No. Okay. Can't really make like a firm prediction here what's going to happen. We're really just kind of at the mercy of the next big player that wants to move it. How I feel right now. Oh, I've run out of water already. And I'm falling asleep, so I'm gonna stand up. Well, they've ticked down back and forth there at 05 a couple of times. If you wanted to buy it, that would be the spot right there. Okay, they tried to push through 04 half and there's an iceberg there. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Can you see me falling asleep here? My eyes are all going like... Can't stay awake. It's so boring. 34.82 now. We need to find something to talk about here, guys. That'll distract us from how boring this is and keep us awake. But won't distract us so much that we miss it if something happens. I guess if something happens here, I would rather miss it anyways, but I'm actually thinking, like the thing in my mind now is, okay, it's so rangy, we could get a move. Like, let's just say, for instance, for the sake of argument, we turn around here, we push back up to 070. At that point, the big order is not there anymore. Probably wouldn't be. And we get a push up to 08 half. If that happens, we're sitting here thinking, okay, we want to catch that move, but I really think that what we need to be looking for is that move and then see when it ends, and that might be when we get a good signal. So it's kind of been my thinking. Yoda is now short 05, huh? They should retrace 30% of this range to move lower. This is like 30 to 40k of lots if they want to push the market down. Yeah. I just can't take a trade here. I'm not going to cry if I just don't take any trades today. It's a Monday. No news Monday in the summer. That's a good way to lose money, I think. So one thing I did want to look at here, there was this argument going on in the Bitcoin subreddit. And what was it that this guy said? Let Got to go way back. Yes, I am not a Bitcoin trader. I am one of the first who entered the Bitcoin market. My first Bitcoin I got for $8. It is a great invention. All the starting talks was about ideology. Now it's all about Win Moon. Also, I am afraid that most people just hold their coins and do not spend these, so pure speculation fervor. Stripe did remove Bitcoin as a payment option simply because not so many users paid by Bitcoin, and the whole crypto market seems to be insane. How can shitcoins like Bitcoin Diamond have a valuation of 400 million? Yes, I agree with that. And they argued back and forth, but I think this is absolutely the problem, and I agree with him to the extent that I blame Bitcoin Core, because they could have come in and they could have said, okay, we had an agreement, we're going to put SegWit in, and we're going to increase the block size, and then they got SegWit in, but then they didn't have enough support for the block size increase, and because of that, Bitcoin Cash split off. And Bitcoin Cash is, regardless of which one you think is the better investment or anything, Bitcoin Cash is more true to the original Satoshi vision. I really don't think that you can deny that at that point. You can say that his original vision doesn't matter, that's okay. But it was more true to the original idea. So the true believers, the people that really believed in the original idea of Bitcoin as a decentralized currency, okay? A lot of them are not in Bitcoin. At the very least, that part of the community fractured. And so what are you left with in Bitcoin? The vast majority of the people in Bitcoin are speculators. And what has happened is they speculated too much and they've caught themselves underwater. And because they're just speculators, they're just holding it, they're not using it. And because they're not using it, there's no reason to hold it. Absolutely no reason to hold it. If use of Bitcoin is going down, no reason to hold it. It's going to go down. Just the way that it works. And that's why Bitcoin keeps going down. If people were using it, if people were putting transactions into the blockchain, then maybe we would be building up some daily transaction value and then our indicator wouldn't look so grim. But because they're not doing that, we're still just as bad as we were when we first touched 6,000, except for that now we have all of these people that bought between 6,000 and 10,000, which is a lot, that are essentially stuck underwater and have to puke. And so we're going to go lower. Well, talking about that definitely woke me up. There's been a lot gone into 04 half. I think they could break here. It's still not a trade that I feel comfortable taking. Especially not 7 minutes in front of the E-mini. Like, it's going to break out, but there's no way to know which way it's going to break out. And the E-mini, they could decide to take it either way. I think that you might see some bears come in, for sure. I guess it has been about 10,000 down net delta, but I don't know. So it was 06? Yes, it is. Okay. So '06 is that single print. They're going to test it again. They might push through it. There's not enough imbalance that one guy couldn't come in and step in and just flip it. That's the problem. Do you have to have more than 10,000 to make something really happen in the 10-year? Things have changed just a little bit. So let me point out here. See this right here? Really teeny tiny little bit right there. This little teeny tiny bit right here. And look, it's not there anymore. It's gone. Very slight and subtle, and then right here. You can't, oh man, it's so tiny, I don't even know if you guys can see it, but right there. The liquidity below us came off a little bit. So I think that you might be seeing some of these targets end up being fake or giving up. And maybe we get this. Maybe. That would necessitate, of course, the E-mini to come out and just go. Could happen. Let's update this because the cumulative delta is not showing. There we go. What the hell? This picture here. Don't sell an egg beater to anybody under the age of 18. What? Okay. Not a real picture. How can that be a real thing? Oh, there they went. Okay, so there's the E-mini open. And the first thing they do is they tick that 040. And they're sitting right on the 05 in the 30-year. They could just blow right through it here. On the other hand, that might be your fade right there. But a little suspicious there at 27.7450. Well, they tick down. ZN makes a new low. ZB. Well, I guess it's a new low in ZB too, isn't it? Yeah, there was a new low on all of them. But like they've only ticked like 26.53 into it so far. I'm still a little suspicious. Okay. Well, now they've traded quite a bit there at the 04. They actually went bid 03 half. But there's a nice bird. I mean, he had a little bit of a breakout there. Now they're back below the breakout price, 27.7425. Jeez. I don't know. So now we're gonna print 10K at 040? And here the E-mini is pushing higher, but it's not super convincing yet, and they're still printing some big prints here. So there's some bubbles. You see all these buy bubbles? And they took a new low. As long as people will sell it, yes. Hey man, he's still going. They haven't hit the bubble at the top yet. I guess that 1526 doesn't qualify in 2778. This is why I'm not allowed to grow a beard, because I can't handle not touching it and picking it. Okay. Slight step up. Back to it. Okay. Well, I tell you what, if we had gone short at 06.5, that would have been a really great trade, wouldn't it? But I don't think that you can't just sit down and say, oh, well, you would have been profitable. To really say that that's a trade that you should take, you know? They could have busted through that. They could have And you might have, just said it's too rangy and not taken that whole 5 ticks for sure. I mean, we didn't know that it was going to go and make a new low. Not very many people taking trades today, I can see. There's a 1350 at 2778, but it's still not creating a bubble. So I'm not sure what we need to see a bubble in the E-mini. And there they go again. So the Treasury is going to take another step down. Trade fears dissipate. Okay, there they took it. Well, there was a 10K at 04 half, remember? And then now seeing this trading 03 half, and they hit 03 half and 1623 went through and it didn't even make a dent in the offer. Oh, okay, there they ticked up that time and they bid 2. The E-mini starting to show it the first, I want to say, not quite. They're going to get people below that 2777. Good strong bid here though in the 10-year. Slam through it. Doesn't hold. Seems like some price acceptance here at 120.03 half, to be honest. So we could still go lower. Still feeling sleepy. So I'm a little skeptical here. There was a 10K iceberg at 040. Let's remember that. Now 43 at 03 half. More than that? The E-mini is showing some possible weakness. It's not showing its hand yet, but I can see it kind of starting to do its thing. Now, holding another good bid at 03.5. We're gonna watch this 04.5 right here. This price right here, I think, is important. Oh. Need a bigger. That one right there. That one right there. That one right there. And I guess there's also the 12, but that was always there. And we've seen absorption here and here. So this could be a buy. The only problem is that it's been after pretty good downtrend. So it is definitely a risky trade. I think we need to see a little bit more than what we are. In fact, I think if we get a move up, well, hold on. So you could buy it here and maybe it comes up and then it comes back down again and then it stops at 04.5 the next time. And then you're okay. But then maybe what you really want to do is let it come back up, do the pullback and see the iceberg again and buy that. Right now the E-mini is still not, it's kind of showing it. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, okay, so you can kind of see over here. There was maybe some signs that they were going to come up. I thought that maybe they might do this, Jim, but they didn't. It's a 5-3-3-8. So now we see it here. We need if this goes below, oh. I was going to put it in as a stop, but it would have hit and they would have caught it there. So let's do it that way. So the thing I'm seeing is they absorb 7K here. They absorb 7K here. Okay, that price pulled in the 5-year. This in the 10-year has not pulled the 44.62. That's what I want to see. Come on. Nope. Well, they didn't offer a lot. I need to see these prices pull. We need to tick up in ZB2. That's another thing. Okay, so now we're seeing it here. Now ZB is joining in. There's this thing in the E-mini, bounce. So that is not necessarily good news for us. Okay, so here the E-minis looks like it's going to go and try it again. Here's the key price right here. Okay. Right, the E-mini didn't get below that point, so they could move lower now. Little flood of volume coming in. Let's put right in here. This was 7K. Not a lot of sellers here in the 10-year. Not market sellers, at least. All right, E-mini probed down through there, and then they came back up almost immediately. So we would want to see them turn around here around 27.77. I want to see this this big order here hold. Okay, iceberg at 16 now. Okay, and the big order in the E-mini did not hold. Well, they didn't go through it, but it's, I mean, it's not there anymore. And then you got this one at 27.75. Oh my. Okay, that was weird, and that might have just been my data. Did you see that it went to 0 and then we saw that print? Was that just the level 2 change came before the volume changed, or I'm just seeing things? This right here is 2770, or sorry, this volume at 040. On the other side is not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, okay, good. And look right here. This was the price that we were looking to hold, to pull. They got through it at least. I don't think it pulled. Well, actually, it's 27.47, and there was like 4,000 there at one point, wasn't there? I think that is a pull. So I think we're starting to get the support that we wanted. See this iceberg there? Just yeah. We've got to hold it. But if it holds, that could be the impetus that could move us up to like 06. Right now it looks more like price acceptance to me. The E-mini made another push up. That's probably why we're getting that. Okay. Okay. Well, that uptick looked better than the last downtick, but then it's pulling. Okay, aggressive moves there in the 5-year. 5-year is trying to reverse. Trying keyword. Oh, let's highlight this one now. Because that's what showed up. You see it move here in the Vista chart. Okay, I don't like this at the 5-year, or sorry, the 30-year. 1,000. They haven't ticked up. Come on. What I'm seeing in the E-mini, granted they did have a move up a little bit, but then they come back. So I think it's probably still anybody's game. Still not seeing the 30-year breakthrough. Okay. My finger is getting a little itchy, it wants to click. And it's a lot in the 30-year. Okay, here's ES again right there at that pivot. Again, one of those things where the E-mini breaks it and then the treasuries don't actually move up. Because that would really suck. Okay, so now they're buying into it in the 10-year. Good uptick. That's what we want to see right there. Now, did you see, we highlighted this, I'm liking this highlighter thing. Did you see that moved up? The 46 at 17 moved up. ZB still don't want to give up on that 05. Okay. The E-mini did take a little dive there, and now they've had another recovery, but it's still, oh man, they're just right in the meat grinder right now in the E-mini, which can be frustrating for us. Because granted, we're not trading off of the correlation, but it certainly helps to have the correlation in our favor. CB just doesn't want to. Okay, so they broke through it. They're going to stay bid this time. We're going to see them hit 06 or maybe 06 pull. Well, maybe a little bit of pulling at 05 in the 10. The 10-year. This is pulling. Well, was that what? I guess that's what that's been for a while, isn't it? In the 5-year. I don't recall. We're going to just highlight the big order right here. Okay. Well, they traded through it, but not a strong bid. Not yet. ZB has a whoa. And look at this. That might be, we can keep an eye on that. That time, so here we ticked up, we've been trying to highlight this big order in the 5-year. Look now where it is. Now it's at 17.5. Moved up 2. I've never, watching the orders move around has never been this interesting. O5 half was one of my potential profit taking spots. O5 half, 06. The 06 showed up there, you know, and it was there. There's a chance that they go through it. We're gonna have to play by ear, but that might be one of the places that we got to get out. We still got a bit of time for a move to develop, and the E-mini still hasn't like really gone yet. So now they're coming to the open prices in the E-mini. Is what this is. Right? It was around 730. Yeah, it was around 2773 or so that we opened. So this volume node right here in the E-mini, we want to see them go through it to 2770. If that happens, then maybe we could get enough support to break 07 in the 10-year. But you gotta be careful because this is where, okay, yeah. Let's see if we can get out here. Well, actually, So I can see absorption in the 5-year. I see absorption in the 10, but they're below the 0.5 and the 30 again. That's what I really don't like. I'm worried that we get a pullback, and then after the pullback, then you get the move that goes up. In ZB, the move up has not been enough. Okay, well, they ticked up and they put a good bid on it, and I like some of what I see in the 5-year. We're still seeing fishy things in the 30. Okay. That's a little, yeah. Yeah, that's not what we want to see, so let's clear everything out. The E-mini still hasn't, I mean, it's been coming down, and that's helped us for sure. That 050 is traded back and forth quite a few times, and the bid isn't strong yet. But that's maybe an indication that we shouldn't have gotten out. I mean, 050 is not the spot that it should be doing that at. It should be doing that at 05 half. Yeah? Does that make sense? 05 half was the, and you know, I never put it in here, but it was there. Let's get rid of that one. That one didn't matter. Well, it could keep going. Yeah. And they'll pull a little bit at 05 half. Okay, alligator doesn't think it's over. Yeah, I don't know. It feels to me still. Also, here's this one. And there's the O6 half, which has been there for a while. Okay. And then in 12 in ZB. The ZB has still only come back 4 ticks right here. 4 ticks. So we're still in pullback territory, in my opinion. So I'm really, I do think this was a price that I thought I could get out at. And it turns out that I could have. The O6 I'm not so sure about. Yeah, you can't see that. What about magenta? Oh, you can't see that one either. Wait, this right here. 060. Not sure if you get filled there or not. So I got out at 050. I could have been a little bit more patient, but oh well. The E-mini has not like careened. It's I don't know. Oh, what just happened there? I don't know. 1 2-tick trade in the I mean, obviously I wish that it was 4. And obviously I screwed up. I should have taken the 3, but to take 1 trade and then get a winner off of it, and after all that, many reasons to get out here. Just feeling it can go higher back to view up. Not a good sign to go lower, so targeting other side. Like that. Well, he's still not sure if you get a fill at 06. Let's see. I got 8 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to post my Bitcoin charts. Oh, I should check to see if it's so. If you guys have any questions or comments, yeah, Uzi was sleepy. I know there's only like 6 of you guys watching, but if you have any comments or questions, please put them in now, and I will try and answer them before I go. I'm saddened. I see here at 7:22. Well, it was almost an hour ago. I didn't even see that. Well, we're watching this 060. You watch this for me while I'm posting it. This price right here is, let's see if we get a fill there. So let's look at this again, just really quick. Clear it out. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. So I got 040. It looks like you could have gotten 03 halves. That one's super sketch though. I marketed into it. But really, when we saw that 7K at 113.157, that was what I was using as my entry signal. So I could have gotten one more off of that. And then when I was looking at it, I knew that we had spent some time at 055 and that we had gone back and forth there several times. So I should have known that we would have been able to get up through there and possibly to this 06. Oh, look, I actually would have gotten filled at 06. So I'm going to say that probably if you traded it perfectly, it would have been buy here and sell here, so you would have gotten 4 off of it. But we weren't quite that efficient, and I would expect, to be maybe one tick inefficient on each side. That's okay. They did trade through the 6, but I would still say that it's good to take that one because it just took forever to get through there. And they still have to tick 07. So you could still potentially get a pullback here. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just, that's why I say for a scalp, I think that it would be better to be cautious and, have been taking that and then wait and see what happens. And if it goes down, then you could maybe buy it again here, like 0404 half on like a pullback, like a higher low. So we'll see what happens. The E-mini is quite uneventful so far. I mean, I really thought that they were going to get through this level right here, and then they were just going to go whoosh and test like this right here, 2766. I guess they could still do it. I guess they could still fail here, but man, it just seems like that. I thought that there was going to be a lot more behavior in the E-mini. And then let's just look here really quick. I do want to point out the cryptocurrency markets, because it seems to me like they're starting to do some weird stuff. So there's a crazy buy on the 4th, didn't hold it. Here's another crazy buy. We'll see what happens. My indicator is actually giving like 130. So now I'll just show you guys real quick. I mean, you'll see this in 2 days, but see how it's going back up? When has it ever done that? Whenever it gets to that level, it goes goosh, goosh, goosh. This time, and it's not. Now maybe it turns around here and then it goes goosh, but this behavior is unusual. So our current theory, and if everything is still okay, then that says to me that we've just got a big ugly sell ahead of us to do it. But the other explanation is that something has changed that is messing the indicator up, I think is what you'd have to conclude. I looked at whether lining would make a difference, but I went in and I did the math and it's not even close to mattering. So, and it is still in beta, so I think that would make sense that it would be so small. So I don't know what it's doing, but it's saying that it should go lower. So and I would say that these buys don't necessarily look healthy to me. If it was a buy and then, that would be great. But what I see is some whales buying it and the market not following. So we sell again, it could be ugly. Anyways, I guess that's it. Good, okay trading today. I'm happy with it. Oh, let's talk about the news here really quick. Which day is it? Is it tomorrow? I don't think it's tomorrow. I think it's Wednesday. Yes, it is. It's Wednesday. So tomorrow might be slow as well. But then we get this PPI and stuff, and CPI, those should be big. So, and we have auctions too. So it's going to be very interesting trade tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I mean, Wednesday and Thursday will be very interesting. Tomorrow, we'll see. Might be slow, but we might see some real trades too. So it's exciting. Anyways, all right, that's it. I will